Regular Show is an American animated television series created by J.G. Quintel for Cartoon Network that premiered on September 6, 2010. The series revolves around the lives of two friends, a blue jay named Mordecai and a raccoon named Rigby, both employed as groundskeepers at a local park. Their regular attempts to slack off usually lead to surreal, extreme, and often supernatural misadventures. During these misadventures, they interact with the show's other main characters, Benson, Pops, Muscle Man, High Five Ghost, Skips, Thomas, Margaret and Eileen. Many of Regular Show's characters are loosely based on those developed for Quintel's student films at California Institute of the Arts, The Naive Man from Lolliland and 2 in the AM/PM. Quintel pitched Regular Show for Cartoon Network's Cartoonstitute project, in which the network allowed young artists to create pilots with no notes, which would possibly be optioned as shows. The project was greenlit and it premiered on September 6, 2010. Since its premiere, Regular Show has been a ratings success for Cartoon Network. As of May 2013, the program has been watched by approximately 2 to 2.5 million viewers each week. The series has received positive reviews from critics and has developed a following of teenagers and adults. Regular Show has been nominated for several awards, including 2 Annie Awards and 4 Primetime Emmy Awards, one of which it won for the episode Excellent. Premise: the series revolves around the daily lives of two 23-year-old friends, Mordecai, a blue jay, and Rigby, a raccoon. They work as groundskeepers at a park and spend their days trying to avoid work and entertain themselves by any means. This is much to the chagrin of their manager boss Benson, a gumball machine, and their co-worker Skips, a yeti, but to the delight of their manager boss Pops, a man with a lollipop for a head. Other co-workers include an overweight green man called Muscle Man, a ghost called High Five Ghost, and an intern goat called Thomas. Mordecai often visits a local coffeehouse to talk to the waitress, a red-breasted robin called Margaret, upon whom he has a crush. Creation: Regular Show largely grew out of creator J.G. Quintel's life and experiences in college. Quintel attended the California Institute of the Arts, and many of the characters on Regular Show are based on the characters developed for his student films The Naive Man from Lolliland and 2 in the AM/PM. Both originated as part of a game called 48-Hour Films, in which students put words into a hat, pulled out one word at midnight and spent a weekend developing ideas for a film. Quintel attended college with Europe Van Norman and Pendleton Ward, who both went on to work at Cartoon Network Studios with Quintel. Van Norman created The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack and Ward created Adventure Time. Quintel concurrently worked on Camp Lolliland as creative director on The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack while completing his degree. He was later invited to pitch for Cartoon Network's Cartoonstitute, a project to showcase short films created without the interference of network executives and focus testing. J.G. Quintel returned to the characters from his films, put them together with newer characters and created a pilot. Quintel wanted to present a visual pitch rather than a verbal one, believing the idea would make little sense otherwise. He storyboarded the idea for the pilot, and Craig McCracken and Rob Renzetti liked his presentation. Regular Show was one of 2 series from the project that were greenlit. The project was eventually scrapped and never premiered on television. The character of Mordecai embodies Quintel during his college years, specifically at Cal Arts. Quintel said, "That's the time when you're hanging out with your friends and getting into stupid situations, but you're also taking it seriously enough." The character of Rigby was randomly developed when Quintel drew a raccoon hula hooping. He liked the design and developed the character of Rigby to be far less responsible than his companion. The show is inspired by some British television series and video games. Episodes are produced using storyboarding and hand-drawn animation, and each episode takes roughly 9 months to create. Quintel recruited several independent comic book artists to draw the show's animated elements. Their style matched closely Quintel's ideas for the series. The show's soundtrack comprises original music composed by Mark Mothersbaugh and licensed songs. While preparing for the beginning of the show, Quintel looked for young, independent, comic artists to compose the show's storyboard artists. He thought that the style would closely match that of regular show. He looked through blogs and convention panels for the total package, which he said was the ability to write and draw. Something that many independent comic book artists possess. In addition, Quintel attended many open shows at CalArts, an 8-hour festival of student animation. The style and sensibility of regular show was difficult to work with in the beginning. The artists struggled to create a natural, sitcom-like sound for the series. Regular show was inspired by The Simpsons and Beavis and Butt-Head, and Quintel credited the stylistic elements of Joe Murray's Rocko's Modern Life and Camp Lazlo as working their way into his style. Video game Street Fighter, Shadowrun and Toe Jam and Euro, which Quintel played when he was a child, inspired the series, as did some British television programs. Quintel's interest in British television was influenced by his British roommate at CalArts, who introduced him to The League of Gentlemen, The IT Crowd, Little Britain, The Office and The Mighty Boosh. The latter was very influential to Quintel and would later influence the humour in regular show. Production, writing. The process of writing a script for regular show begins with the staff writers playing writers' games for inspiration to find an idea that they find enjoyable. Once an idea is approved, the premise of the episode is written and passed to the storyboard artists, who create the dialogue. The writers try to make the conversations feel natural to the audience, using examples from their own experiences. The script is then shown to the network executives, who give notes on what should be added or changed. The plot generally begins with a basic problem that the characters must overcome. While the protagonists work on their task, a magical, supernatural, or strange element appears and complicates the initially simple problem. The writers decided to follow this narrative structure to take advantage of the animation. The series is rated TV PG. Cartoon Network told Quintel early on that they wanted to age it up from the TV Y7 stuff we'd been doing in the past. This direction led the crew to use adult-oriented humor with innuendos and drug and alcohol references because they wanted to cater for both the younger and adult audiences. The writers generally make these jokes subtle. The show also makes use of subtextual adult humor through music. One of the program's storyboard artist, Calvin Wong, said that he enjoys the limitations set by writing for the show since the adult-oriented jokes that are approved are satisfying. The plots of the episodes are influenced by the writers and Quintel's personal experiences, such as performing prank telephone calls or accepting an eating challenge from a restaurant. The show often references 1980s culture, using music and electronic devices from that era because many factors from the decade left a positive influence on Quintel. The show also makes references to modern social trends such as viral internet videos. Voice cast. The voice acting of the series is relatively low-key, and the intention was to make most of the characters sound natural and conversational. Quintel wanted to make the show listenable and give in contrast to most other cartoons, which often are difficult for adults to listen to. The main cast consists of voice acting veterans Mark Hamill, who portrays Skips, and Roger Craig Smith, who plays Thomas. William Salles plays the voice of Rigby, Jani Haddad portrays Margaret, and Quintel's former CalArts classmate Sam Marin voices Benson, Pops, and Muscle Man. Quintel portrays Mordecai and High Five Ghost. Members of the production staff have voiced several characters throughout the series. These include Minty Lewis, Toby Jones, Andres Saliff, and Matt Price. The regular show cast record their lines together in group as opposed to individual recording sessions for each actor. This is to help the show's dialogue sound natural. The series regularly uses guest voice actors for recurring characters. These guests include Steve Bloom, Courtney Taylor, David Ogden Stiers, and Robin Atkin Downs, Jeff Bennett, Jennifer Hale, David Kay, Frederick Tatasciore and Julian Holloway. Animation. Each episode of regular show takes about 9 months to complete. Quintel and his 35-strong team develop each episode at Cartoon Network Studios in Burbank, California. The script is illustrated in rough hand-drawn images, known as storyboards. The storyboards are then animated and mixed with the corresponding dialogue to create the animatic, which is then sent to be approved by the network. The show's artists assemble the assets to send to Serum Animation in South Korea, where the more challenging aspects of the episode are performed. When finished, the episode is sent back to California. Music and sound effects are created and the final episode is mixed and completed. The process allows the production team to work concurrently on dozens of episodes at different stages of production. Although most modern animation has switched to hybrid methods such as the Cintiq, regular show has been described as far more low-fi, and is animated traditionally by hand using digital ink and paint. Although Cintiqs were optioned to be used for the program, Quintel felt more comfortable working on paper, considering it to be more organic and more representative of each artist's individual style. Board artist Calvin Wong said, "The tools of the trade as being pencils, pens, whiteout and occasionally light boxes and electric erasers." Music. Regular show has no regular theme music. Instead, at the beginning of each episode, a blurred sound followed by a ticking clock is heard over the title cards. The main composer of the series is Mark Mothersbaugh, one of the founding members of the band Devo. As Quintel was developing the pilot, he considered asking Mothersbaugh to create the music for the show. The episode's animatic was sent to Mothersbaugh along with a request for him to join the show's staff and crew. Regular show will occasionally make use of licensed songs mostly from the 1980s. This began when Quintel and the staff writers started recording the animatics using copyrighted songs for the montage scenes. The network executives watched the animatic and asked the crew if they wanted to use some of the songs for the finished episodes. Quintel said that the songs are chosen for their suitability for the scene, whether they sound good and are affordable. Quintel enjoys using the songs in the episodes because adult viewers might remember them and younger viewers might appreciate older music. Songs have included "You're the Best Around" and "Mississippi Queen." The show also produces original songs which are used on the episodes. These are generally composed by Mothersbaugh and written by one of the staff's storyboard artists. "Summertime Loving" in the Summer was written by the staff member Sean Seals and appeared in the episode This Is My Jam. Episodes. Most episodes of regular show last 11 minutes. Episodes are usually paired together to fill a half-hour program slot. 116 episodes in 4 seasons have been completed and broadcast. The first season began on September 6, 2010, with the episode The Power, and ended on November 22, 2010. With Mordecai and the Rigbys. The second season began on November 29, 2010, with Elo Govna, and ended on August 1, 2011, with Karaoke Video. The third season premiered on September 19, 2011, with the episode Stick Hockey, and concluded on September 3, 2012, with Bad Kiss. The fourth season premiered on October 1, 2012, with the 30-minute episode Exit 9B. And concluded on August 12, 2013 with Stake Me Amadeus. The fifth season was due to air on September 2, 2013. A fifth season aired on September 2, 2013. Reception, ratings, regular show became an instant hit. Its first and second seasons, broadcast on Monday nights, ranked number 1 in its time slot among all key boy demos across all of television according to Nielsen Media Research. The pilot's premiere was watched by 2.097 million viewers. For the following episodes of the first season, viewership increased by over 10% from the time period of the previous year. For instance, the entry was viewed by 1.339 million children aged 2 to €11, a 65% increase from the previous year. It was also watched by 716,000 children aged 9 to €14. A 43% increase. The second season premiere, Elo Govna, marked a decline from the first season premiere's figures. It gained 2.067 million views, but it marked an increase from the first season finale, which was watched by 2.028 million viewers. The third season premiere, Stick Hockey, saw a bigger decline in viewers, recording 2 million views. As the series continued, its ratings grew. The fourth season premiere, Exit 9B, was watched by 3.047 million viewers, a significant increase from previous seasons. Critical reception. Regular show has generally received positive reviews from critics. A reviewer from IGN, R.L. Schaffer, called the show zany, absurd, bizarre, and hilarious. He praised the show's writing, and said that it included snappy dialogue, odd characters, and clever stories, each more irrelevant than the last. Regular show never ceases to tickle the funny bone. He finished his review by calling the show a pretty awesome piece of refreshing off-the-wall comedy, and wrote that it's humorously animated, brazenly silly and almost always funny. DVD Talks Neil Lumbrad described the show as offbeat sense of humor with a lot of randomness that makes its title both peculiar and hilarious, and compared it to the original Looney Tunes shorts and other cartoons including the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, and Johnny Bravo which Cartoon Network has produced. He wrote that the network has found animated gold with Regular Show, which is too offbeat and unique to be called regular, and that it is a comedic animated gem worthy of being discovered for years to come. Lumbrad ended his review by recommending the show and calling it one truly awesome cartoon with a lot of good humor to enjoy. The AV Club's critic, Alastair Wilkins, said that compared to Cartoon Network's other animated comedy, Adventure Time, he does not consider the series to be funny, and describing it as more pleasingly weird. He said that the episode's plots can occasionally be too complex to explore completely in the show's 11 minutes, and also said that the usual story setup can make some stories feel structurally the same as others. Wilkins said that he considers that the show is at its best when it focuses on the jokes, the character moments and inventive ways to use animation. Kevin McFarland, also of the AV Club, said that he considers the series a thrill to watch. He complimented the animation style, the characters, and the use of motifs. Awards and nominations, related media, comic books. In January 2013, Boom Studios announced that it would develop a comic book series based on the show and that Casey Green would be writing the script and Alison Streliv would be in charge of the illustrations. The first issue officially was released on May 15, 2013. Video games. The show has an app called Nightmarathon available on the iOS App Store. A new app has been released called Ride 'em Rigby. On April 8, 2013, J.G. Quintel announced on his Twitter page that an official Regular Show video game is in development, which was titled Regular Show, Mordecai and Rigby in 8-Bit Land. It was developed by WayForward Technologies and published by D3 Publisher for Nintendo 3DS, and was released on October 29, 2013. Other merchandise. Jazzwares has produced an assortment of 2, 6, 7, and 10-inch licensed action figures and plush toys for the series. Collectible figures have also been released along with other themed merchandise, such as 80s bobbleheads, pullback custom cruisers, and wrestling buddies. There have been many graphic t-shirts officially licensed through clothing retailers Hot Topic, We Love Fine, and Threadless. Looney Labs is releasing a Regular Show-themed version of Flex on July 25, 2014. Home video releases, see also. Adventure Time, Camp Lazlo, The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack, references. External links, Cartoon Network's official page for Regular Show at the Big Cartoon Database, Regular Show at the Internet Movie Database, Regular Show at TV.com.